Welcome everybody to the Eit Manufacturing Opportunities for Startups webinar. You can see here on the screen speakers for today. So this event is organized by the Eit Manufacturing Is Hub in collaboration with INESC TEC, UPTEC, and the Eit Manufacturing Doctoral School. So we have today Gala Maturana from Eit Manufacturing, CLC West, Business Manager. Thank you, Gala, for being here. Then we will have three entrepreneurs who will tell us their story with the collaboration with Eit Manufacturing. So you have André Luz from Infinite Foundry, Nuno Fab Inventors.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, Nuno Fab Inventors, and Rui Barros from Meet My Needs. Okay, so I will pass the word to Susana, who will give the welcome from UPTEC side. Thank you, Susana.
Thank you, Ana. Hello, everyone. My name is Susana Pinheiro. I'm business developer at Science and Technology Park of the University of Porto, UPTEC. I'm pleased to welcome you to this webinar. We hope that this webinar can help you to know more about programs and initiatives of the IT manufacturing, and of course learn with the experience of these three entrepreneurs that kindly accept to be present here today. And finally, we hope this session can encourage more application from all of you. And Anna, let's go ahead and jump quickly to this webinar.
Thank you, Susana. So from my side, just a small, quick words about Eit Manufacturing Is Hub. So our mission is to promote the activities of Eit Manufacturing in Portugal and encourage more participation of Portugal startups, research centers, companies, organizations in general, to the Eit manufacturing activities. So we have yearly, we have a series of dissemination activities. This one is dedicated to startups, but we will have one coming up in October dedicated to SMEs. So stay tuned and we will share this one very soon. Eit Manufacturing has three pillars or four pillars, let's say. So basically we have activities in innovation, education, and business creation. So today this seminar will be dedicated to the activities on business creation, and Gala will explain us all the programs that we have for the participation of startups. Thank you, Gala.
Thank you, Anna, for the kind introduction. Yes, so I will in a minute share a presentation, but for me, what is really important of today's session is that you walk away knowing two things. What is Eit Manufacturing and what are specific programs that you or your startups or the SMEs in your community can be taking part in. So two main concepts, who we are, what we do, and the specific programs. So now I'm going to try to share my screen.
And you can place your questions in the chat. So we will take questions after each talk, okay? Thank you.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, perfect, thank you.
Okay, no notes, right? It's perfect like this, okay. So as I said, Eit Manufacturing, many of you may know it, some of them maybe you don't know it. So what is Eit Manufacturing? Eit Manufacturing is really a strong European community of innovation. It's really, what we are is really a community that aims to protect and support Europe's manufacturing sector. Sounds very romantic, no? But this is what we try to do. We think that we are the key player that can be looking at what we can build together. We know that there are many good initiatives in the industry sector all over Europe at a national, regional level, but we are here to make it grow, to make it go up to the European level and really add value to it. So we are a strong European community that aims to support, protect our manufacturing, our industry. And why is this? Why are we so interested in protecting, supporting our manufacturing sector? Well, because industry is the heart of our economy. 22% of the GDP in Europe 27 comes from industrial activities. This means around more than 2 million enterprises are industry related, creating 32 million jobs. So we know that if we protect our industry, we are protecting, we are encouraging our economy to grow and to be more competitive. So it's not just about protecting, promoting our industry, it's really about becoming innovators, really becoming the leaders of manufacturing innovation. This is our vision. We want Europe to be the big player in manufacturing innovation. We want to be, as EIT Manufacturing, that driver of this to happen. No? So we want to be a community, we want to make the different stakeholders add to our community, and we want our community to be the driver of innovation in the industry sector. And how do we plan to do that? What is our mission? Why are we here working? Well, to bring all these actors together. We think that to be a community, you really need to connect different players, and the players can come from many different places. It can be corporations, it can be research centers, it can be universities, it can be startups, SMEs. So what we think is the more we connect, the better we will become, because we will be learning from each other. We will be innovating together. So it's really a matter of, we want to be the leaders of innovation in Europe, and we want to do it together. This is a little bit of a summary of our mission and vision. And then if I give you a bit of details on who we are, no? Who are we? Who makes this, the group here that I showed you before? Who are all these people there? That was, by the way, a meeting that happened at the beginning of EIT Manufacturing here in San Sebastian, where I'm based. So we are a community of 67 partners. Half of them are industry partners. They're manufacturers. You can see here some names that you might recognize, no? Big players, big corporations. These are really big engines of innovation. They can implement important innovations. They can really change the products, the way the energy consumption. They're really the engine, no? Many times. But of course, universities, of course, RTOs, we need the knowledge, we need the thinkers, we need the creators, the innovators, we need all that as well in our community, because we believe that this is a community that involves different approaches. Now, as Anna said, we really need the triangle to happen together. And I come into a bit of detail now in a minute. But what are the challenges that we are trying to really address? No? Like, what are these challenges? Europe has 3 challenges that are common to the rest of the world. And Europe needs to be greener. No? We know that we need to be sustainable, of course, and we need to really embed that in all of our processes. It's not just an objective, something nice to have. It has to be part of who we are, how we produce, how we manufacture, the impact of manufacturing on nature. It's really, we know how stressful it is for many communities, for many places. Of course, digital transformation, no? Big words now happening after COVID. Everything needs to be digital in order to be competitive. And of course, competitiveness. We are here to help everyone move forward, even the SMEs, that they have many times more challenges to be able to innovate because they don't have so many resources or the knowledge. So we are here also to help these players that are not originally so prone to be able to moving forward. No? So the challenges that we all know are very relevant to us: digital transformation, be green, be more circular, use the waste to be able to bring it back to the economy, and then be competitive. Let's focus on the high value added processes, products, technologies. We need to push that and then maybe let go of the ones that are no longer valuable for us. We want to help that process. We don't want to leave anyone behind, even the SMEs. We have to strengthen it. And why do we think startups are at the heart of all this? Because we think that startups are many times these drivers of change. Startup with lots of energy, with an innovative solution, can be transforming many companies. And we want that to happen. We really want to push the newcomers, the young entrepreneurs, or not so young, it doesn't matter, but help others transform. This is how we want to connect. And this connects with the idea of community, a community that drinks from each other, from each other's knowledge, from each other's advancements. So this is overall a bit of the mission, about the vision, why we exist, why EIT Manufacturing is relevant if you are a player in the manufacturing technology domain. But how about some numbers? I want to give you some numbers. So EIT Manufacturing is alive since 2019. The first operational year was last year. Last year was the year where we started financing our projects, having programs. Give you an idea, last year we financed around 32 million euros in total projects, as Anna said, education, innovation, and business creation. But of course, most of these projects, it's true that they're innovation projects. So we financed 28 million roughly in innovation projects that were projects in our community that were like implemented by our partners, some other players that were also around us. And we also invested around 3 million euros in different startups and SMEs that due to COVID suffered a lot the impact. So we wanted also to inject some money to them to help them stabilize and to help them grow in the coming years so that they will not get too affected by that. And then in terms of startups, so now I'll go into detail to that, but the startups, we are engaging already with around 200 startups, and we are actively supporting around 45. So this is where we are now. This is, of course, a starting point for us, since this is our second year, but we are looking to engage many more and support many more in the coming years. To give you an idea of where we are, we have our headquarters based in Paris, and we have 5 offices all over Europe. I'm based in San Sebastian, northern Spain, and from here we cover Portugal, Spain, and France. We have a budget already allocated until 2026 of 400 million euros. And EIT Manufacturing is really, really keen on using that money to have a specific impact and results on the final users, on the players, in the economy, in the jobs that we create. So, as Anna said, we have this triangle and the 3 pillars, and we believe that this is the key of our success, that we're not just financing innovation projects and that's it. What we're having is a holistic approach to the society, because if we want to make our industry strong, we need to start by the education, the part of the bringing talent, creating knowledge in the students, putting together programs that are strong, that they can really be driving this change. You know, the talent is the core of everything. Having good people, educated people, allow them to study, to develop ideas, to study their PhDs in their subjects, in their matters. So this is what we start with. Then, of course, innovation. No? Innovation is changing the way we do things. It's bringing new approaches to technologies. So these people that are bright minds, then they could be taken to this stage and be innovators, no? And bringing this value to the community. And then what happens? Of course, innovation, we are an innovation community, but we don't want to be just funding innovation per se. What we want is that the innovation has an impact in our society. How? Well, by transforming it to the entrepreneurship, to the startups, to the even new intrapreneurship within the same company. So what we want is to take innovation back to the market by creating new companies, also by helping the very good companies that already exist to help them to grow, to help them to connect, find new clients, and to really be expanding their good to others. No? This is what business creation is all about. And also, of course, helping the SMEs, that we don't forget about them, to also catch up and be able to have opportunities at their level, because SMEs are at their own level, but to help them also do little baby steps, but towards a bigger objective, an objective of growth, an objective of transformation, an objective of finding their way to still continue being competitive. Let me have a sip of water because I'm so dry. So now I'm going to deep dive into business creation, which is my topic and which is, I think, the thing that interests you the most. So as I said, 200 startups already engaged, and they need to be startups that have like solutions, approaches to products, new products, things that can change, that can have an impact on the things that I mentioned, to better produce, to have less footprint in our nature, and to be more impactful socially and also environmentally. So we have specific programs. I'll run you through them now. What we have is, there are 3 programs that have been launched already. These are Create, Accelerate, and Transform. Create is for early stage companies, for the ones that have just been born from innovation projects or from a company that did an entrepreneurship. So early stage, and we can offer support services. And I'll explain what that is later. And then we can also offer financing. We can help you to finance that company. It can be through our funds. We can invest in startups up to this level of maturity, up to 150,000 euros. But it's not only us. We can also make connections with the right financiers all over Europe. The same applies to Accelerate. So this is for more mature startups. Same approach. We can offer support services and also financing up to 300,000. Then we have the Transform call that is open, that is for SMEs that want to transform some part of their processes, and we can finance up to 150,000. Then we have Boost Up. This is a signature program that changes year after year. This year we had a risk Boost Up dedicated only to risk countries in May, and now in October we will have matchmaking industry needs with innovative technologies. So this is a little bit of a different approach. Boost Up this year will be like a competition of startups to give solutions to industry challenges. We have already 3 challenges from different players. We will disclose these challenges today, and startups can apply to give solutions to these challenges. And we will finance the best solution for each challenge with 50,000 euros. And then, of course, we have Gazelle Accelerator. Gazelle Accelerator is a program run by one of our partners, Aerospace Valley, and it's like a very specific tailor-made program for scale-ups all over Europe. It has a program of around 2 months, 2 editions per year, and they get also training, specific training, access to market and access to finance and visibility services. And they can get also some cash prizes depending on the edition. So this is overall the programs that we have. I'll go into a bit of detail now, but I already said most of it. So Create and Accelerate, if you are an early stage startup or a mature startup, you can get services, support, or financing. These are the amounts, 150 or 300, depending on the maturity. And this is open all year long. So if you think you are a startup that needs some support from us, you can always apply, come to these programs, and I'll now explain how. When I say support services, what do we mean? No, basically access to market. So when a startup is ready to go to a different country, when a startup wants to get new clients, they have maybe 2 or 3 clients, but they need some more, they can be getting some nice introductions to potential clients from us. We can also make introductions to venture capitals or corporate ventures, and even financing ourselves. Then we have 2 dedicated training courses. One is for intellectual property. If you have doubts on, do I need to create a patent? Do I need a copyright? How do I manage my information? How do I manage my knowledge? We can train you on this. We also have a dedicated training course for how to be effective when pitching to investors. This is a very tricky one. And many times when startups are trying to raise money, they really need preparation. So we're also offering this service. And then, of course, visibility through events. So if we have, like in our communities, events that could be useful, then matchmaking, then we, of course, invite the startups that we are supporting. And now you're all thinking, oh, how interesting, and how do I engage? Well, The way to engage is approaching the business creation manager in your region. For Portugal, it's going to be me, so that is an easy thing. So you can be approaching me. And then what we would do is we will start initiating conversations where I understand your solution, your business model, we start exchanging. And then if I figure out that you are an interesting startups, I will take you to an internal assessment with my team, and we decide whether you are eligible for getting support or not. Then if that's the case, we can sign a contract with some terms of what would be in exchange, what sometimes there are like success fees. If we get you contracts, then you give us a percentage. It's like, of course, it's always like an exchange. And this is not, they're not services that we give for as grants. We have something in exchange, because in EIT Manufacturing, we believe that if we bring value, then we should also request for some value. And it's always very reasonable. We are not here to become rich. We are here to sustain ourselves. But there are always mechanisms to give, the money back to us so that we can support other startups in the future. Then we sign a contract, we start working together, we start making introductions to you. And then eventually after some time, we have some new contracts. We help you raise investment. We help you, reach your objectives. So this is a bit how it goes. So if you're interested in Create and Accelerate, you can get in touch with me and we can start talking about this. Then I'm going to transform call. I don't think this is a forum because this is really for startups, but just so that you know, if you are in conversations with SMEs and you are giving them like a technology, a solution for them, there is a program that they could be applying to get some financing on this project. So if you're not an SME, but you work with SMEs, maybe this program is relevant. So the idea is that we help the SME transform some part of their production, that it can have like real results that can be measured. And we are going to finance up to 150,000 euros, and it could be 50% of the project. But anyway, this is open until 30th of September, if you know any SME. In any case, this is how it goes, the application and everything, but I want to maybe spend a bit more time here in Bootstrap, because Bootstrap this year, we have collected 3 challenges from 3 corporates. We will disclose them today or tomorrow. And then we will be opening a call for startups. So any startup that can be giving a solution for the challenge can apply. Then the corporate together with EIT Manufacturing will analyze the startups that applied, select a shortlist, and the shortlist of startups will pitch in October during the World Manufacturing Forum in Italy. I think is the word of the event. And then we will choose the best one, and the best startup will receive 50,000 euros to do a proof of concept, a pilot project in the corporate. So this is an very interesting approach, because it's a competition, but really to give solution to a challenge. And we are not only giving funding, but also we will accompany along the way the startup and the corporate to facilitate the relationship and to really nourish the relationship, because we believe that many times it's not a matter of money, it's a matter of understanding both sides, sometimes so different with each other. Now, a startup mindset and a corporate mindset sometimes can have, a mismatch of mindsets. So going back, Create, Accelerate, you have Bootstrap also. And then one more opportunity that is also very relevant, and it's like, join our innovation projects. We have a yearly call where we encourage our partners to present proposals, and we are super open to also engage with startups. This year, I think we're going to have 3 startups joining projects, if I'm right, or maybe more. So we also encourage that. You don't need to be a partner to be part of a project. You can just partner with one of our partners. So INESC TEC, for example, can be one, or any of our partners that maybe you have connections with. Have your eyes and ears open, because our calls, they open up in February until May, and there can be opportunities for you to join as well. Join our innovation projects. This is, of course, an opportunity for a startup to develop things internally, to be helping the consortium with their technology. It's different views for the startups, maybe the new use case, maybe different line for this technology. So really, there are different objectives that can be accomplished through our projects, or even it can be the startup, the one that exploits the technology that is coming out from the consortium. So many different reasons, and just keep your eyes open, and there could be many opportunities. So all in all, there are many things happening, and the best way is to keep yourselves updated through our social media. We promote every initiative, every program there, but also contacting me. We can have a conversation. We can analyze where you are, what you need, and how we can be of help. So I totally encourage you to get involved with us and to contribute to Europe's industry transformation. And we are here to help. I'm super open to answering any questions that you may have. I don't know if I was late. Maybe I was, no?
No, yeah. No, you're perfectly in time. Thank you, Gala. This was a great overview. Thank you. So I'm wondering if there are some questions already for Gala. So not in the chat at the moment. So I already shared your email in the chat, Gala. I hope that's okay, because you said yes, they should contact you. I also shared the list of EIT Manufacturing partners so that you can see if you find your next customer there to engage in proposals with us. If you have questions, you can either write in the chat or simply put your camera on and speak. So maybe we have one from Pedro Loureiro, right? No question? Okay, just wondering.
Not yet.
Carlos Valero, do you have a question?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Gala, for the very nice speech, very nice presentation. My question is more regarding about the challenge that you have in some companies like Bootstrap and others like this. Where can I find this challenge? I mean, what are those problems? Because basically I have a solution that can be maybe applied to many things, but I don't know where it's going to be really important. So where can I find this challenge?
Yes, thank you, Carlos. That is a very good question. The challenges will be published in our website and in all social media. I think today we just had the closing of the challenge gathering yesterday with one of the corporates. We were really trying to figure out and define the use case well enough so that the startups could really understand. So I think maybe, so it's not there yet, but today or tomorrow, you will be able to, if you follow us on LinkedIn or even in our website, you will see the challenges. Yes, and you're right. We are welcoming startups with different approaches because a challenge can have like maybe 5 or 4 different approaches with different technologies. So that is what we want. We want the corporates to see, okay, these are the options, so different from each other. We want to help them open up their minds because sometimes they think they know what they need. Maybe we need this robot here, we need this system here, but maybe they're not considering others. So this is a great approach, Carlos, and wide scope technologies are super welcome, and hopefully you can find one of the challenges and compete for it.
Okay, so thank you so much. Keep tuned. We will, of course, for the people that are interested in these themes, we will for sure use your emails to share this information with you as well. So now we have 3 stories of startups that have participated in activities with the IT Manufacturing. So please be sure that you explain in which one it is so that people that are here participating understand where your participation fits. And tell us how was your journey, what were the advantages, what you would make better, and so on. So first one, André Luz, Infinite Foundries. Thank you so much.
Hello, Anna. Thank you very much for the opportunity and to present our company and our experience. So we participated last year in Bootstrap. We were one of the startups that that participated in the event, and we actually were not one of the winners in the final part of the boost up, and that is probably the part why we think that the program is very interesting to help us and to help startups addressing some of our issues. In order for me to explain some of our journey with EIT Manufacturing, let me just briefly give you first an overview of what we do so that you understand exactly where EIT Manufacturing has been helping us. Let me just make a quick share of my screen. So Infinite Foundry, we are a 3D digitalization company. Means that we have developed software that enables industry to get the 3D exact model of their factory. So how we do this? So our system starts by laser scanning the inside of the factory. With that, you get the 3D model of everything that is in the factory. So here you see the output of the laser scanner. It is just a measurement system that enables you to measure in 3D everything that is inside of the factory. Then it starts our software. First part is on processing that laser scan data to obtain the building. So all the walls, the columns, the beams, the pipes, the things that are usually inside of any industrial building. And that is important because you need to know if you have space, for example, to change the position of a robot. So this is laser scan, and after it is processed, this is the 3D model of the building, which is this part here. The second part, the equipment. We have a very large database of many equipments like robots, conveyors, AGVs. If we don't have it, we model from the laser scan, which is this case. So at the end of the first step, we get both the building and the production equipment in all the 3D model. The second part is getting the real time, so connecting the 3D model, which is this model that you saw there, with all the sensors that you are available. So we are a big aggregator of any kind of sensor in the factory, any kind of controller, camera, so motion capture camera. So one example here, which is the same machine, we're in front of it. Now we are connecting and we are receiving all the data from the sensors, and we can replicate any movements that the machine has. A second case, for example, is a robot. So in this case, we are getting the data from the controller of the robot, which is in this window. So the TI portal of Siemens, which is the controller of this robot. And we are seeing that in virtual reality. Besides working on the machines, we also work on the manual operations, where we can get the movement, the movement, where we can extract the movement of the worker. In this case, the worker is using a motion capture vest, and every movement, because this vest has 18 sensors across the body, and any movement that the worker does, it is measured, it is replicated, and in this case you can also compute in real-time ergonomics. So it's not just to know how much time a worker takes to complete each task, it's also to know if they are doing it in the correct ergonomic position so that they don't hurt their body. In the bottom, you also see another measurement system, which is electromyography, to know the strength that they are applying. Besides having this equipment that is very intrusive, the other technology that we use, it is a motion tracking technology. It is super simple, just a camera that does record only the movement. So it is a stereographic camera, it's a depth camera that records, and for example here it just follows the movement of the hand, and as you see you can control this thing just by hand movement, and super simple. So with this technology we can track skeletons, so workers' movements, you can track object movement and those things. So the application of this technology, so by the end of the second step, you pretty much get the exact replica of the factory. So every movement of a machine and the worker is replicated in the digital twin. So and the three main benefits, very briefly, are first in terms of the monitoring. If, for example, the industry has a production problem or a machine has stopped, they can have our system to look in detail to what happened before that problem has happened, so that the user identifies very early how the problem happened, the root cause of why the problem has happened, and how it can be solved, so that you can keep the efficiency of the production process as high as possible. So it is a super simple system. Just think this as a gigantic 3D camera that you have no limitations of access even inside of some components. And very importantly, it's not just the movements that we replicate. We can also show some, for example, if there is here this component that you are having problems with the component with the digital twin, you can, for example, also see you can measure in virtually the deformation that the component is having when the manufacturing, so that it's not just the movements of the machine, but you can also measure the actual deformations of the machine and understand why you are having these maintenance and or quality problems. A second use case is on efficiency. Gala mentioned this in her presentation, which is on sustainability. Can we use less energy, for example, during a production process? So a very simple example of furnace. Using the 3D digital twin, you can just select which kind of processing parameters you want. You select it virtually, and you virtually run the machine, and you see with these processing parameters if you can achieve your goals or not. So in this example, it is a furnace. So imagine this box is a furnace. It's not a real furnace, just for demonstration purposes, but imagine this box is a furnace, and you have here the heat source, and you want to see if the temperature distribution across this part is according to what you want. So the system just simulates in the left part how the gas behaves inside of the chamber, in the right part how the temperature distribution happens, and there you go. You can use the system to just fine-tune virtually the processing parameters and make sure that they comply with in this case, the heat treatment that you need to make. So this second group is all about sustainability, efficiency, using the 3D digital twin as a tool to actually plan very easily and these aspects. The third and final tool, so I have mentioned monitoring, have mentioned efficiency, so optimization. The third and final tool is everything that has to do with training of workers, so that we just don't monitor them, but we also allow them to improve their productivity and their skills, and using a virtual reality training where you go inside of your virtual workplace and you can execute any kind of task. So this is basically as we were born in the automotive sector, and actually we were born in Brazil. So our company, we have a subsidiary in São Paulo where we first started implementing our technology in automotive companies. And when we went to the Boost Up was because we were beginning to bring this technology to Europe. So you have two challenges that Gala mentioned that for us highlighted that EIT manufacturing could help us. The first was, of course, the access to market. So the regulations, the needs of an industry in Europe are not the same as an industry in South America. So we needed to fine-tune our solutions to the problems in Europe, and to, of course, collaborate with some corporates to actually help us fine-tune our technology. So it's not just looking as EIT to just as a sales person for you, but actually it is more on a collaboration level, and how you can cooperate with some corporates to keep developing and keep fine-tuning our technology to match the market needs and what the market is expecting from you. The second part is, of course, essential for any startup, the access to finance. Industry and our experience when we pitch a software that is to industries, that the vast majority of the investors, they like the technology, but they will always come to you with some complex questions like, for example, the time that it takes for you to close a sale. As we know, in industry, it takes a long time, many times, to close a sale. That is sometimes a handicap for some investors. So looking with the help of EIT manufacturing to also ways that we could sell our technology faster, probably through partners, probably through some corporates that they could also sell. For example, some corporates that they have many different partners as well inside of their organization. So looking at these ways that could speed up the time that it takes for us to close a sale, and that is important from an investor. And of course, Gala also mentioned the pitch. Pitch is essential for us to quickly explain to an investor what is our product, our added value, but of course, very importantly, what are our milestones in terms financially and in the future. So, on that regard, we think that our collaborations, we have been working since the end of 2020 when we participated in the Boost Up. So we have around 6-7 months and has been really successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Andres, to share your experience and your product. It looks really great. So we have already a question from Carlos Eduardo Valero. What is the main difference between your system and the standard Scada?
Okay, so this is a bit a technical question. So yes. A Scada is a system where you basically, that basically enables you to collect the data from the sensors and you display in a dashboard. In our system, we aggregate that data in 3D. So as you see, the huge benefit is in a Scada, you cannot, for example, imagine I have a new car. You cannot ask the Scada, what do I need to change in my factory to produce the new car? With our solution, because everything is mapped, then you can ask our solution, okay, how do I change my production line for my new car? Where should I put it? Where should I put the machines? How can I do this in the most efficient and optimal way? So our system just goes a few steps beyond, because it just enables the industry to be a bit more flexible and sustainable as well, because we are always looking to efficiency. Efficiency is not just from an economic point of view. Nowadays, it's crucial for industry for their reports because of the carbon pledges that have made of being carbon neutral in 10-15 years.
Thank you. So I don't see any more questions in the chat. So if there are no more questions, we have to thank Andre and wish him very good luck, because he has to leave.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to go for a flight. So thank you very much for the opportunity and for the participation in this great event. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you and good luck.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So now we welcome Nuno from Fab Inventors. Please go ahead and tell your story to our participants. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. Can you hear me well?
Yes, we are hearing you perfectly.
Okay, so I'm Nuno. I'm a co-founder and CEO of Fab Inventors. We have participated in 2 programs, so EIT Jumpstarter and EIT Boost Up. So first of all, I will present you a little bit what is Fab Inventors. So I will share here my screen. Okay, I think you might be already seeing my screen. So our goal is to unleash 3D printing at scale. So we work with 3D printing for large format parts, where you can print parts for architecture, engineering, design, and you can print these large parts very fast with high detail. So these are some professional applications where you can 3D print parts, and then we can work with industrial applications for higher demand applications and materials. So we can print any kind of thermoplastics that a common 3D printer can use, but with the advantage to print bigger and faster. So this is the size of our system, is 1 cubic meter. Our value proposition has to do with reducing the fabrication time for large format parts. So what happens in 3D printing is that when you want to print big parts, you will have to wait several days to have your parts. Or if you want them faster, you will reduce the surface quality, and usually you have to have a subtractive process. So with our solution, we can save a lot of time, produce strong parts, because we can build single large parts, so parts are not fabricated in pieces. And we produce a lot of less post-processing. So in some applications, the part can be used like it's out of the machine. So at least a 50% reduction of the fabrication time we can achieve with our system. And this advantage has to do with an innovative system we developed, is a patent pending, for a collaborative machine. This means that we have multiple print heads working simultaneously on the same machine. So while they are collaborating, they are building these large parts, but they are reducing the time because they are sharing the work. All this is modular, which is able to increase in size in both X and Y. And we have also multiple build platforms to allow us to have a more efficient production. So we started these programs with a prototype that we have built on the laboratory. This all started on my master thesis. Then we developed some more master theses in this project. We had a FCT research funded project where we get this lab prototype, and this is the team of research. And this prototype was enough to test the properties of the parts, to study how the multiple print heads would interact and what the effects on the parts. But when we are talking about large format, we really needed a large machine. And that large machine was no longer a research project. So that was a difficult that we had to overcome, is to how to start a business of a large format 3D printing. And we have that gap that we had to solve. So in this moment, we have already done our first test model. This was a model for a master thesis. So 2 discs with 40 centimeters diameter, printed and delivered. And this is the actual state of the machine right now. So we have, it's not completely, and this is the first photo that I'm sharing about the project. So we are building this machine in Porto at Oppo Lab. And this machine is starting to become big, which was the goal. So at this moment we are starting to approach customers, because we are expecting to get the system ready in a few weeks, and looking for pilot projects. So we have participated in some acceleration programs. And today I will highlight Boost Up and the ET Jump Starter. So we had this idea. We had a team of research, and we had to go to the market. So the idea is to how we could do this process, and we had to have training on that. So we found that ET Jump Starter was a program that was doing this training, and specifically they had a branch which was ET Manufacturing. So one thing that we found from other participations that we had was that we needed something more related to manufacturing, because in our case we had a prototype, but this prototype was not enough to show what our goal was. So we needed a large format 3D printer. It would require hardware, so it involves costs. and some other programs were more focused on software. But when someone says to you that you have to go outside, talk to your customer, show what you can do, and try to proceed with your market approach, we felt that we needed this understanding of how industry works. So we found that on ET the Jump Starter, where we received training with INESC TEC. So it was a very intense training, a lot of experience that we applied, and we are able to continuing applying on the business development. Meanwhile, we applied to Boost Up. So another program, two different programs. So one, you start with training and you go progressively on a competition where you can get a cash prize in the end. On Boost Up is like the opposite. So you start on a competition to prove what you want to do, your goals, that you are suitable to get ET manufacturing support, and then if you win, you can have a cash prize and service from ET Manufacturing to help you develop your project. So being on the two programs, they complemented each other. So on the first, we start developing better our business more accordingly to industry, and find ways to be for this to be sustainable. And so we are looking to the cash prize in the end, because we believe that we could reach the end of the competition, and that amount would be able to produce a system so we can get out of this loop where we need something to do something. So now we are able to develop the system. So we won the third prize on a creative category. So it was an honor to get this prize and take this prize to Portugal. But of course, since then we have been working with ET Manufacturing, and more specifically now with Gala, that have been helping me specifically as a CEO in terms of coaching, mentoring, communication, all that in a way to and also on planning the steps, how would we invest this cash prize in order to have results. But of course, this is not easy, and no one will tell you that it's easy. Also, COVID is not helpful for anyone. But even so, we are keeping the project, and as you have seen, we have already a machine almost ready to start the services. We have receiving a lot of support from ET, and so some two great benefits that we get from these participations. One was the training. So we have an engineering background, so it is not on our curriculum the ways to do business. So we received that important training, and being part of the community. And I think for the future we will be able to work closer to the community, because when we have this system that can provide results, then we can work with partners, we can apply to other initiatives, and that's one of the goals for the future. Well, when we establish the company, let me just yeah, okay, and I think I'm almost over time. So this is our project. If you, I would like to share for the researchers or professors or someone with ideas that want to participate on this kind of programs. I surely recommend you all the programs that you can participate are ways to test your idea. And if you want to go for a business with your idea, you'll have to test it, and that's a great opportunity where you have mentors that understand from industry point of view, and they can help you and give you real support. So I advise you to apply. Okay, thank you. If you have any questions.
Thank you, Nuno. So great that you have explored also so many different programs and services, and that you are having a benefit from it. So I don't see any questions in the chat. I don't know if someone wants to open the mic and do question for Nuno.
Hello, I have one. Hello.
Gustavo.
Hello.
Hi, Nuno. Nuno, since you are well, you came from a scientific base. I was wondering when you thought your technology was mature enough to register a company and then move forward for the development and so on to reach the stage you are now. Okay,
so first, we haven't established a company yet, and that's one of the well, we have an agreement with BoostUp to do it, and we will do it on the specific time we have our first customer. So I think that's the best time to start a company. So we had this technology. We applied for a patent. So we have results that shown that this technology could have a real impact on this industry, and we knew that it wasn't ready, but we have to develop it more, and it was no longer a research project because we want a machine to produce parts, so it's not research. So we have to jump to something where we could start building this machine and developing this machine, because we were on a TRL 4 or 5, and now we want to go for up to 7. So we will not be on the highest TRL in the end of this system. So that's why we are doing 3D printing services. Our idea is to co-develop this machine with our customers. So we are able to do services, to print parts, to get feedback, fund the project. And then when we are able to have this robust enough, we might go for selling machines, because we have already demonstrated the system.
So I guess you are ready to participate in the next call for projects, for proposals of EIT. And we have now Rui, who actually his participation is already in an innovation project. But I don't know if Pedro already wants to do a question before.
Yes,
so
very
Pedro,
fast
go
question
ahead.
to Nuno. No. What kind of tolerances are you already having on your machine?
So we are using the same extruders as you can find on regular 3D printers. We are using the same kind of motors. So the tolerances that you can find on this machine are the same as you can find on smaller printers.
So the benefit will be mostly the size of the parts and how fast you can bring them.
Yeah, the size over time. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you can extrude much more material, but you can keep the detail without having to have so much post processing. Then there are some possibilities here that has to do with printing larger quantities of parts because they are independent. They can work in different parts of the machine, so you can print a lot of parts at the same time. And if you have multiple materials, each print head with different material, you can use it on multi-material applications.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nuno. So we now give the floor to Rui Barros. So Meet My Need is a spin-off of INESC TEC. So Nuno, if you please could stop sharing so that Rui could, exactly. So, Rui, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Okay, I think you are hearing me and
yes,
seeing my screen.
Yes, confirmed.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you for the invitation. We really love to share our experience with others because we feel that it's something that helps us a lot by having good examples on how to do things, how to approach the market, how to have experience, etc. It's really, really, really important for us. In our case, Meet My Need. Meet My Need, as Anna said, is a spin-off from INESC TEC. We created the company, the startup, because we were challenged by the market to bring up some of the results that we did under the umbrella of the research and innovation for several years. And the market challenged us to come up with solutions under the concepts that we developed at INESC TEC. In practice, we usually say that we design and develop simple and creative solutions for complex problems. Of course, this is general, but it's our DNA. That is something that we really love to do. And we want to apply to all the challenges we have from our partners. And in this case, the EIT manufacturing was something that we looked into with many expectations, mainly because Anna told me once about the EIT program, in particular the manufacturing, the EIT manufacturing, and we found a lot of interest on that. Why? Because we were preparing an initiative with a specific partner, Sonai Arauco, which is one of the biggest producers of materials based on wood in the world. They have manufacturing units around the world. So we were working with them in many activities, and having this as basis, we found the EIT manufacturing as a good opportunity to come up with a solution to the market, not only something that could apply to solve the problems and challenges from Sonai Arauco, but to others. And for this, and understanding the EIT manufacturing program, we felt that, okay, joining Meet My Need, joining Sonai Arauco, joining the Sonai group themselves, which is a very important group in retail in Portugal and in Europe. INESC TEC being part of this project, and BIBA, Research and Innovation Institute from the University of Bremen in Germany. We could apply for this project, this particular project, under the pillar of innovation. Why? Because it was not a question of research itself, but much more on how to use most of the initiatives we had under research programs in the past, merging with the initiatives and ideas coming from INESC TEC and BIBA, from research to innovation and to the real world. And in this, once again, in this particular case, applying to the flagship of platforms for digitalized value networks. So all of this allowed us to compose this consortium and to join all the ideas into a concrete idea to solve some challenges. The idea, in a period of time, we were thinking on what can we do to have in some way a differentiation between what we have, what we can add, and what is available in the market. And we are talking about a marketplace of logistics service and providers that we have developed for several years. A platform to fully support the digitalized process for logistics. So we are talking about managing better the way manufacturing and logistics can interact and exchange information in a better and proper way, supporting all the transactions in digital documents, but using international standards, not case-by-case digital documents, add trust and reliability to this set of digital documents, and provide an open interoperability also using international standards. So this was the basic idea under the project. We merged Meet My Need, Sonai, INESC TEC, and BIBA, and with this we could design a pilot. In this particular case, design a pilot to construct a collaborative platform in a very large way of thinking of a platform to increase the digital interaction between the industry and the logistics stakeholders. This allows us to improve the way the manufacturing can have calculation of costs, can have predictability on delivery and supply of raw materials and delivery of products. This can allow them to reduce the contextual costs because they have a lot of small processes that involve a lot of people around those processes, including public administration, different entities, public and private, etc. So the idea is to come up with something that goes behind the state of the art in terms of interoperability. Also because nowadays interoperability is mostly done case by case. If my company wants to make the system interoperable to others and vice versa, we need to deploy case-by-case mechanisms of interoperability. So we developed something that could be able to allow us to exchange in an open way, an open mind, the exchange of these documents. And this is something that we are piloting, developing and piloting in the context of this project co-funded by the Eit Manufacturing. Benefits that we can have on this, first of all, is the proof of concept. And I think most of you know how difficult it is to prove to the market that we are able to do what we are trying to and saying that we are able to do. Having something that was already delivered to a company is something with a very high value to the market and to the image that we can create in the market. So this is the first outcome for us, the first outcome that we wanted to get from the project. Of course, we have small outcomes and the official outcomes that we have in the project. Of course, we have, but mainly we want to have the market validation. And with this, we want to go further in the market. We want to achieve industries around the world. We want to target logistics service providers, bank and insurance companies, because they also collaborate on these kind of processes, etc. So the main benefits for us is to have the opportunity to prove that all we are explaining and convincing the market are already in use in a very large group of companies, and this will allow us to create the awareness in the market, to create image, to improve the way we can do some marketing and sell products and services in this market. A special answering to a special request from Anna. Where did we start by entering the Eit Manufacturing? And this is specifically for startups. We started to understand what kind of partnerships could be constructed under this umbrella of the Eit Manufacturing. We looked to research and innovation partners. Why? It is really important to have those kind of partners, because they have methodologies, they are experienced on these, they know how to help us transform the research into innovation. And most of the times, the innovation in products, which is really, really interesting, because, well, if you are a startup, you have to concentrate in everything that you have good and all your knowledge. But you must understand that you don't have the control of everything. And these kind of entities can give that support on this kind of other tasks that we have to deliver. We looked into opportunities to match the solutions we got already and the needs and the challenges that the manufacturing came with. And then we tried to participate in the process of transforming all of these in solutions to fit the market needs. Advantages, of course, the go-to-market perspective. Having the seal of the Eit Manufacturing, it's important for us. Having a pilot, a validation in the manufacturing world is also that gives us much better support to go live. And understanding the problem with real users and co-create the solution, we wanted to do this. We didn't want to have to reinvent everything. We wanted to do co-creation with those partners. And the partners came with feedback from experts from the field and real users. All of this are advantage that we value very much. My contacts, if you want to share your thoughts, if you want to ask something here in the session or after the session, please come to me and give me that. And also, if you have challenges, because we also we can also help on challenges, please come. And I think I am on time.
Yes, you are. Thank you so much for the presentation. I see you already use the IT terminology and layout, so this is good. It looks like you are already very familiar with our settings.
I try to.
I don't have any questions in the chat, but I was wondering if you could share with the audience how it was to apply for a EIT Manufacturing Innovation Project. Is it very different from other type of financing projects that you have applied for?
Well, Anna, I would say that for me was unexpected, but is quite simpler than the other programs. Very easy and accurate. At least for us, we only had to explain what we wanted to do, nothing else. It was it was unexpected, because usually we have to create a lot of introductions, a lot of state-of-the-art, blah 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 blah. Nothing here. The application was straightforward. They wanted to have from us, what do you know about this? What do we want to do? What is different in the consortium that you can't get directly with a partner only? And then, of course, the costs. We needed to have a budget to support all this initiative. But if you have this clear in your mind, and if you ever had the exercise of creating a proposal, think that it's easier. It's not, when I say easier, it's not easy to get the approval. It's easy to apply for the proposal. It's easier to prepare, to explain, because you are talking to people that knows what manufacturing and the problem you are proposing, what does it mean. You are not talking to someone that worked in different things and is thinking on different areas. No. So I felt this. And in the approval, we had concrete and real comments. The evaluators touched the points and asked questions about real interesting matters, not the generic and general things. So it was really, really interesting to apply for this program. I think there are some things that could be improved, of course. There is always, but learning and improving, of course. But in our perspective, the program is very well conceived, and the tools are very easy to use.
Oh, thank you so much for your feedback. So if there are no other questions, maybe you can stop sharing, and I invited other speakers to join me. Just to ask if someone from the audience has other questions also, meanwhile, to Gala or to me or to Susanna, wherever. Nuno is also here probably. Yeah. If so, we were very informative already. So I guess this. So Susanna is trying to join with video, but is not available. But it's okay. So I believe this was already very informative session. Wait a second. Let us have Susanna here. I think she can now join us.
And in the meantime, I will give some other comment. In terms of administrative matters, Meet My Need is not the coordinator of this project, but we have a very straight collaboration with our coordination partners. And everyone says that it's very easy to interact with the EIT coordination board, and it's also very easy to manage all the cost control, etc. That is something that is not an extra overhead like in other programs, like the Portuguese framework, etc. Also an advantage.
Yes. So thank you, everybody that was here listening to us. It was a pleasure. So now you know where to find us. We are also in LinkedIn. I send you the link. Check our webpage. We always have a running banner with the new opportunities coming in. And we know already from Gala that tomorrow, at latest, or this week, we will have new challenges to solve. So this is we also have a running competition for innovators, human innovators in Greece. So check that as well. And we will come soon with new events about Eit Manufacturing. So thank you all and talk soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone, for your time. Bye-bye. Take care.
Goodbye.
See you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, bye.